Kia ora, good morning, Prime Minister. Good morning to you. This issue of Alfred Ngaro basically threatening to cut the funding of his political opponents, what do you make of that?
Oh, well, Alfred was wrong to say that. He's apologised to me and his colleagues, and I think realised that we don't work that way. Actually, Alfred doesn't work that way. He does a great job in his responsibility with social housing, working with people who don't agree with him. And with respect to the partnership schools, we welcome Willie Jackson's participation, and if he applies, he'll be considered on his merits like everybody else.
Okay, so why on earth then would he say that he was going to cut the funding of his political opponents if he didn't believe that? And it wasn't some off-the-cuff remark. I mean, he made it in quite a formal setting, didn't he?
Well, I think it was off the cuff, frankly. I mean, Alfred has a track record of doing a great job, working, as I said, working with all sorts of people. You know, he's overseeing the emergency housing, working with groups who spent all last year criticising the government pretty heavily, but are very competent operators, and he's getting the emergency housing in place.
Let's look at what he said. He said, quote, "If you get on the campaign trail and start bagging us, then all the things you are doing are off the table. They will not happen." It's pretty clear, isn't it? That's a threat that if you criticise us, there goes your project.
Well, it's a threat that is meaningless, actually. I mean, he's
an associate. No, he is a cabinet minister.
That's right, and he's withdrawn the remarks and apologised, and I'm making it clear this is a government that focuses on results, not on whether you agree with us.
Has he breached the cabinet manual in your view?
Oh, look, I haven't looked into that.
Well, I've looked at this and I'll put it to you. 2.53, the Cabinet Manual. In all these roles and at all times, ministers are expected to act lawfully and to behave in a way that upholds and is seen to uphold the highest ethical standards. Ultimately, ministers are accountable to the Prime Minister for their behaviour. What do you think? Has he acted in a way that upholds the highest ethical standards here?
Oh, in making his decisions as a minister, yes, he has.
In this respect?
And in respect of these remarks, he has withdrawn them and apologised because they're wrong.
What undertaking will you give to actually go back and look at whether any decisions he has made have been based on politics, on political views, on the political views of his opponents? Do you need to do a bit of an audit here to check out that this is just some sort of empty threat?
I'd be happy to do that. Look, I think, if that had been the case, I'm sure we would have heard about it, but happy to go back and do that.
So you will do that. You give an undertaking this morning that you will go back and have a look at the decisions that he has made to make sure that they are not based on the political views of his opponents.
Well, yes, certainly with respect to the provision of services that are funded by the public, as I said, unlike previous governments actually. I mean, we do hold ourselves to a high standard in this respect. We don't use the funding levers to manipulate opinion. We are always working with people who disagree with us, and that's partly inherent in being a centre-right government who's focused so strongly on better public services, and that is a lot of people who provide our public services don't vote for us.
Just finally, we've only got just over a minute on negative gearing. Isn't it fair enough for Labor to say, look, we're going to knock negative gearing on the head. Landlords don't need a tax break.
Look, the problem is, first, it's not a new policy. They had it last election. At a time, right now, we need more houses. This is extra tax on housing. It creates uncertainty. And Labor's policy of slashing work visas also means the construction workforce will be affected. So just when we need more houses, they're putting in place policies that will probably have the impact of less houses.
So you don't think that you need to make any moves to level the playing field for first-home buyers in terms of the tax breaks that landlords get?
No, we don't. Look, our tax system treats all businesses as businesses. It's not a loophole. It's how our tax system works.
And that's how you see it, being a landlord as business?
It is a business, yes. And right now we need more houses. This will be today creating uncertainty, which makes it harder to get more houses on the ground faster.
All right. Thank you very much for coming in to the studio this morning. We run up against the 8 o'clock news, so we're running out of time, but we appreciate your time, Prime Minister Bill English.
Thank you.